Today we'll discuss about the characteristics of the chemical reactions. Now, in all the chemical reactions, the transformation from reactant to the product is accompanied by the various characteristics which are as follows. First, we learned about the evolution of gas. Now, some chemical reaction takes place with the evolution of gas. Now, the reaction between a metal and an acid, that acid can be a inorganic acid like sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, or organic acids like acetic acid, formic acid, etc. When they react, they form a salt with the evolution of the hydrogen gas. Let us see an example. When zinc reacts with H2SO4, which is a dilute one, it forms ZnSO4. This is aqueous in its state plus hydrogen gas. Now here the hydrogen gas is evolved, so we can say there is an evolution of the gas. Let us see another example. When potassium chlorate is decomposed on heating in a presence of MnO2, it forms KCl plus O2. Here O2 is a gas which gets evolved. That's why we can see some reactions, some chemical reactions are treated by the evolution of the gas. Second one is change of color. Change of color. Certain chemical reactions are characterized by the change in a color of the reacting substances. Now we'll see the reactions. When a red lead oxide, that is Pb3O4. Now if we talk about the Pb3O4, it is formed by the combination of two molecules of PbO dot PbO2. If we combine these two substances, we'll observe there will be 3 atoms of lead and 4 atoms of oxygen. Altogether, it will form Pb3O4, which is a red lead oxide, red in color. So it is termed as red lead also. On heating, it gets decomposed to form PbO plus O2. This is lead monoxide, which is yellow in color. So we observe the change of the color being red turn to yellow, turn to yellow. In the same reaction, we can observe the two change of the state in the reaction. Firstly, the reaction will also observe the evolution of the oxygen gas in the reaction and the change of the color too. That is, red lead oxide gets converted into yellow in color. Now, if we observe the another example here, suppose PbNO3 whole twice on heating gives PbO plus 4NO2 plus O2. Here PbO is yellow in color, NO2 is a gas, it is a nitrogen peroxide which is brown in color, and the lead nitrate is white in color. So again, we can observe the two characteristics of the reaction in a single equation. One is the change of the color of the substances and another one is the evolution of the gas. So it doesn't mean only one characteristic of the reaction should take place at a one time. Now, the another characteristic is the formation of the precipitate. Now, what is precipitate? Precipitate is an insoluble substance. Precipitate, an insoluble substance formed by dissolving a two soluble compounds. For example, if we take an example, silver nitrate, silver nitrate when treated with aqueous solution of NaCl, it forms NaNO3 plus AgCl. A white precipitate of silver chloride is obtained. If we see another reaction, ferrous sulfate when reacts with sodium hydroxide, it forms sodium sulfate plus ferrous hydroxide. A green colored precipitate of the ferrous oxide is obtained. Now the next characteristics of the reaction is energy changes. All the chemical reaction proceeds either with the absorption of the energy or by the release of the energy. Now, on the basis of the energy changes, there are two types of reaction. One is endothermic and another one is exothermic. First of all, we'll focus on to the endothermic reaction. Now, endothermic reactions are those reactions which is accompanied by the absorption of energy. For example, let us see an example. When carbon in a solid form reacts with sulfur in a solid form, when it is heated, it forms carbon disulfide. If we see, light energy is also released for the biochemical reaction, that is photosynthesis, by which green plants prepare their food from the carbon dioxide in the water. So, photosynthesis reaction, that is 6CO2 plus 6H2O in a presence of sunlight, it forms C6H12O6 plus 6O2. As in this reaction, the energy is absorbed. That energy can either be in a form of heat or in a form of light or in a form of electricity. Such type of reaction are termed as endothermic reaction. Next reaction is exothermic reaction. Exothermic reactions are those reactions which is accompanied by the release of the energy. For example, when a magnesium is heated, when a magnesium is heated, it forms magnesium oxide plus energy. Or when a quicklime, that is calcium oxide, is placed in the water, it becomes very hot and sometimes starts boiling. It is because of the release of the heat energy during the reaction. Now, the second last characteristic of the reaction is the change of state. The fifth and the last characteristic of the reaction is change of state. Some chemical reactions are characterized by a change in a state. That change in a state can be a solid, liquid or the gas. Now, here the reaction is when 2 volume of the hydrogen gas reacts with 1 volume of oxygen gas, it forms water. Twice H2 plus O2 gas, it reacts to form twice H2O, which is in a liquid state. Or when an electric current is passed through a water, it split into its elements, that is twice H2O in a liquid state. When an electric current is passed, it forms twice H2 plus O2. Or we can also observe when NH3, which is in the gaseous form, reacts with HCl, which is also in the gaseous state, it forms NH4Cl. This NH4Cl is into the solid state, which is known as ammonium chloride.